The summer chapter update is coming to Rise of Kingdoms, which brings a ton of helpful information like the resource plundering limits and transfer limits. Also, there's a new summer event, Lost Kingdom optimizations, new achievements. I mean, let's get started and review everything that's on the way to the game. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and in this video, sponsored by the makers of Rise of Kingdoms, we've got to cover everything that was included in these patch notes. And before we begin, I do want to mention one thing that was not included, which is the update to forging and the whole refinement system. So they sent an in-game mail that said it would be in the summer update. Here's the summer update, and I'll point out that nowhere in these notes do they mention the refinement system, which means one of two things. Option number one is that the refinement system has been pushed back to a subsequent update. And option number two is that they felt like it was so wordy that they just didn't want to include the whole thing into here. They already sent 2 in-game mails about it, right? But I wish they had a one-liner if that was the case that said, P.S. Also, we sent an in-game mail about this huge crafting update that is going to be included in the summer chapter. So I think perhaps the refinement system got pushed back, but I don't know. Does that change whether or not I think you should refine things? Not really. The only thing where I would say maybe you should craft now is if you want more of an item and you do not yet have a special talent. That might be a situation where you want to craft it now, because what they said in the notes is that in the future version of the world, the first time you craft something, it's going to have the base chance to get a special talent. That's 11%, unless they change that, but I don't think they are. It's 11%. Whereas today, if you were crafting something for the third time, you'd have that 33% chance to crit. So in the new version of the world, you have to make 3 and then refine until you get a talent. And in the current version of the world, right, you just keep crafting, so making a new one has the highest chance of getting a talent. Anyways, maybe that was too much information about crafting. There's nothing about crafting in this update. What is here is a summer festival event, and it starts with a pun, baby. Will Bjorn Ironside, who's not nearly as impressed with the managing commanders, Minamoto and Tomo Goizen, be able to iron out their differences? Ha ha! Oh, that pun is awful. Wow, Bjorn Ironside, iron out their differences. Well played, translator. Okay, so what do you need to know here? Summer events are coming, race against time, protect the supplies, 7-day quests. I will say, save up 7,000 gems in case there is that really amazing event where you can convert gems into just outrageous amounts of rewards. 7,000 is the number. Have 7,000 gems. Get there by the 11th, which is when the patch is landing, okay? Have your 7,000 gems on hand. I guess you really only need to have them by the end of the event, but still, like, start saving. The only thing that has me thrown for a loop, besides the pun at the start of that, was city themes, plural. Hello, city themes, plural. Plural, more than one city theme. City themes, plural. Anyways, I'm done repeating myself. There could be multiple city themes. There's probably just one. But if there's multiple, hello, that would be interesting and different, right? The summer preparations are going to land within a week of the update. So around the 18th of August is when we should expect to see the new event show up. And of course, I'll show that as soon as it lands on this channel. So again, subscribe if you haven't already. Now, the Lost Kingdom is also getting some optimizations, and several versions of KvK are getting changes. The most important one is March of the Ages, which I honestly might have expected to see a lot of paragraphs here of text describing some pretty major changes, but they've summarized what they're doing as a series of technology quests that they're adding to the season, which I don't know if that means Bastion quests. I don't know if that means new technology you can research, or if there's just some separate quests, which they could be doing, that makes the March of the Ages more appealing. That also could be the case. They updated the building, icon, and certain screen displays, and improved the reserves dispatch to the forward camp command with cancellation options. Apparently, there wasn't a way to cancel, which is a little awkward. I'll say this. As of right now, there are a shocking number of my Alliance members who have said, hey, Chisgule, if you queue for March of the Ages, I'm putting on a 30-day peace shield, and I'll be back after KvK has ended. Thank you very much. And I get it. I mean, a part of what makes this game so fun, compared to other games in the genre, is that you have so much control of where you can be physically. You have so much freedom of movement. And March of the Ages is restricting movement, which the upside of that is that you won't have mega whales porting from one flag to another flag to another flag to another flag, endlessly filling it, making it a real pain in the butt to make progress, which, yes, I have experienced that. Also, I am a high-power whale that can do that. Not insanely powered. I mean, I'll run out of gas probably faster than someone who's like 300-400 million power, but you get the idea, right? There's some serious logistics slowdowns built into the March of the Ages, which has an upside, but also has the downside of kind of, I don't know, hindering the thing that makes this game so different in part from other games in this genre. So hopefully some of the new stuff that they're adding here addresses that, which would be awesome. If you're in the Strife of the Eighth, they're changing around some of the rewards for Crusader achievements. There's a little change to the Light and Darkness Crusader Fort destruction time, reduced from 24 hours, or reduced to 24 hours from 48. And governors under City Hall 16 cannot claim the Lost Kingdom achievement rewards again. I didn't know that was a thing, being under 16 and claiming lots of Lost Kingdom achievements. But, I mean, you get to City Hall 16 real fast. So I'm, like, not sure what people are doing. Is this, like, farm accounts or claiming rewards repeatedly? I'm not sure there. Other optimizations. Here's the big one. We've boosted resource points by 25% across the board. That is just upside. You do not have to send out your gatherers as frequently, and they've even also improved the base gathering speed by 10%, which is a nice change. It's not perhaps as much as I might have hoped. More is always better. I need lots of resources. So this is a minor adjustment, honestly. This I would say is a minor adjustment to the amount of resources in the resource node and the time that it takes to gather them from the gathering speed. But it is just straight up upside for players that gather resources. Like, if you gather resources, this is a huge win. A small change, but a huge win. The downside is that they set a cap on the quantity of resources that can be received through assistance and plundering at 200 million each. So I think this means you can transfer 200 million a day and plunder 200 million a day. But they added this confusing little thing at the very end here, 400 million in total. I don't think they're saying across plundering and resource assistance you can do 400 million. I think they're just doing the math for us that 200 million plus 200 million is 400 million. So I think it's still 200 million resource assistance a day, 200 million plundering. It would be better if it was 400 million across assistance and plundering. That would actually be even better, but I don't think that's what they're trying to say here, but maybe it is, but I don't think so. So 200 million probably hits the check marks for me of being the smallest amount possible where I would say, like, really, you can do everything you need to do with your farm, and really, you probably are not in a lot of situations where you're plundering more than 200 million a day. There's very few times where that's the case. It does suck if you find, like, a big target and you're going to loot $1 billion plus. That would certainly suck, and if you're the only one who's going to be able to do that. But there's two scenarios here. If you're in Home Kingdom, go teleport your farms over there and take the resources from your farms. So, like, there's a way around that. Granted, you got to have a lot of farms, right? Like, or you got to do it near reset and do it with a lot of farms over, like, a reset period. But also, if you're in KvK, this means that the plundering gets shared with your alliance members in Kingdom, which, like, it sucks to not be the one who, can get 1 billion resources plus anymore from a city, but also it's still going to somebody in your kingdom. So I don't know. All in all, I think this could have been really scary with how low they could have sent this. There were rumors that it would be as low as 10 million. Those rumors weren't true. This is why I do not talk about rumors on my channel, in part because they're probably just rumors, and that was the case. So 200 million is, again, I think as low as they could go and still be very, very reasonable for transfer in a day. I mean, I do transfer billions of resources at a time from my farm, but that also does leave my farm kind of vulnerable to being attacked. Granted, my farm's now 65 million power, so good luck swarming that. Oh, man, have fun. Truly have fun with that, but I think that for most people, you probably should be transferring resources more frequently anyways, just to keep that farm from getting too juicy as a target during a Mightiest Governor kill event, you know what I mean? Now, Ark of Osiris optimizations, they're making it so that troops in the hospital now count toward matchmaking. I don't think that changes things for the top end of players, but Maybe for newer, smaller alliances and players, that makes a difference in the matchmaking. But more importantly, practice matches now on Saturdays and Sundays. This means I can do testing for you on the weekends, which I'm hyped about. Improved the Osiris League minimap display. That's awesome. Wish that was happening before casting the final Grand Finals match, but I'm still hyped for map improvements. And they're even improving the Alliance search functionality so you don't have to get the capitalization right, which, let me tell you, that was such a pain in the butt, and I'm really glad they're fixing it. That's actually pretty awesome. You can now buy a 30-day research speed-up supply. I guess after the patch goes live, maybe I'll get a look at that and see whether or not I think it's value. This is only in kingdoms that are undergoing or have passed the Eve of the Crusade from the Lost Kingdoms Season 1. So you have to have completed Eve of the Crusade, KvK Season 1, in order to have access to this bundle. And they improved a bug in the power rating of certain equipment with special talents. I guess that matters for Canyon power that you see on the screen. And they have improved the underlying algorithm. This is actually a big deal for Season of Conquest Imperium Kingdoms. Now, when I woke up this morning, I read this like a dozen times, and I was like, I don't know what this does. But I was still pretty groggy. But I read it now, and it says, linking Imperium Kingdom numbers with the number of Imperium Kingdoms entering Season of Conquest. I think what they're saying, but I'm not entirely sure, but I think what they're saying is that maybe the number of Imperium Kingdoms in the Season of Conquest is dynamic and is based off of the number of kingdoms that are in the Season of Conquest. Is that what they're saying? That would be definitely a nerf to the strongest kingdoms in the game, which is not necessarily a bad thing, even though, like, our kingdom is at times among those strongest kingdoms, because, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, it's just got to be really daunting to battle against one of the strongest kingdoms in the game. Let's be honest. And making it so that kingdoms are a little bit more even and balanced. I don't know. It just means you can't recruit in to the kingdom for players over 35 million power, right? With the exception of your special migrations in. So at some point, the strongest kingdom's attrition, they need to be able to recruit. Right now, the sort of cycle of things for powerful kingdoms is to lose a lot of power in KvK, then recruit a ton because you've left Imperium, then you start training troops again and you just balloon in power and you become very high power. That's sort of the actually end game loop for Imperium kingdoms. So maybe that's impacted. Maybe I'm not understanding this correctly. Definitely leave a comment down below with how this works if I'm forgetting something here. And the last thing is that they add a Master and Commander achievement category, the completion of which will earn an abundant reward. Hello. Let's just jump in game real quick and let me show you some achievements. Okay, so here's the achievement system today, and there's a couple things they could do. One is give us more achievements overall. They didn't say that, though. They just said that they're putting sort of new achievement category in here. So they may not do more rewards at the top end of things for having a total higher achievement score, but there is going to be a new category, and that's going to have some rewards in it. And right now, the chase item is right over here, the Avatar Frame All-Out Rumble. So I'm kind of hyped that they're adding this new category, and it, mentioned commanders, right? So presumably, they're going to include things like, maxing out commanders that are sort of newer to the game. There's probably some points for that. And again, right now, the chase item is the All-Out Rumble Avatar Frame. Maybe there'll be a new Avatar Frame. Or maybe they do something other than an Avatar Frame. I mean, kind of be really badass if they did like a city theme or something. That'd be super cool. Actually, I'd be really hyped for that. But don't get overhyped, folks. It's probably just an Avatar Frame, which is purely cosmetic. And hey, I'm all for chase items that are cosmetic. That's kind of cool. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, throw a like on here and consider subscribing. I'm going to cover everything you need to know about this update as soon as it lands, so you're not going to want to miss that. Also, later tonight, I'm going to be spinning the wheel for CJ. I had intended to stream this last night, but man, I just got like stuck in traffic and I was exhausted. And I was like, I just can't do this. So today, we're going to stream 4 times. I'm going to spin this wheel before reset and after reset. I'm going to do it on my main account and on my restart account. That sounds kind of fun. You're not going to want to miss it. So subscribe, throw a like on the video. I'll see you in tonight's stream. And until then, you have fun smashing the kingdom.